I am at your service, my liege.
The Fae are right. Mortals ruin everything.
Welcome. Oh, you took me by surprise. I'm not accustomed to mortals on the trellis. Please, enter. I am Lord Saramir, the High Lore Sage of Issa. I am here to answer all questions regarding the House of Ballads and the House of Valor. We are the children of the fields and fountains, a Fae body filled with a deep breath of magic. All that you see around you is ours. For many seasons we lived in these forests and canyons alone, distrusting, apart. But once we felt the call to join together, we became the Seelie. By choosing to lead the Summer Fae, Titarian is eternally linked to our fortunes, both day and night. He feels the waning magic as a mortal might feel his heart sink at the sight of his sunrise. When our seasons end, Titarian will be the first to enter the long winter. This sanctuary is where the knights of our most prestigious house stay when visiting the Court of Summer. I act as their humble scribe and servant. All Summer Fae clutch the glory of the House of Ballads to its collective breast, knowing that the deeds of one are indeed the deeds of all. It was one of the Fae's great houses until its leader was challenged and beaten, and the magic faded under the mortals' leadership. Now even the sanctuary here on the trellis is wilted and closed as a result of our great loss. Or perhaps it's a sign of something darker. It is meant exclusively for those close to the Summer Court, or the ambassador who wishes an audience with the High King. Our most honorable institutions reside on the trellis, including the House of Ballad Sanctuary and what was once the House of Valor Sanctuary. May good fortune follow.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. May the breath Olain sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them. Her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. Once the ill were brought to health, and the villain had fallen by, good Olain returned to mortal ground and gifted them with magic found.
Welcome.
Yes. You feel it, don't you? Anyone intimate with the ways of magic can detect the waning current. You're like me, Your Grace. You see the end. Is this how it happened at the House of Ballads? Did Hallam foresee this slow decay? I had a feeling he did. As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader, the High King Titarian. The Western Fae lands are our domain. Every season, one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow, to act as ambassador. I'm the only Fae to have held the position more than once. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, their power weakens. Their cool waters recede. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent times has it been shaped to resemble one of your mortal cities. The summer court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of us, as it should be. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow. A sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. His inaction is no match for mortal ambition. It is the source of summer court magic and touches our realm of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, our kind would dry up like leaves and vanish. Most mortals know nothing of what lies beyond the veil. The magical realm of Ashara. It is a mystery even to us, as we departed its shores many seasons ago. Of the gardens of Issa? Of the summer court? Why, this crystal war may be the end of all Fae. I know because I am Nomeron, master of the font, the wellspring of all summer court magic. I've seen it flow at its highest, but I've never seen it so dry. Something must be done before all this city withers into nothingness. The font is the source of all summer court magic. It has flowed through this mountainside since our kind sprang up from the dirt. That flow has waned in recent days. It's unnatural, even as the magic in the world grows. The Fae, it seems, will wither. The font's flow is controlled from the Lycian grove down below. You must open the root system and allow more water through. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used by some. It's protected by a ward known as the Waterlock. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools surrounding Issa. Collect these drops, and you can break the Waterlock. The sacred pools are the collection points for the font's yield. Together, they cradle the gardens of Issa. Keep it safe, powerful and hidden. You will find 2 of the pools below in the gardens themselves. One near the Ballad Sanctuary, and one in the Court of Summer itself. Goodbye.
What's this then?
Yes, Dustling.
Yes? Welcome to the gardens, mortal. But you have not come to visit the city, nor to speak with me. You are here on much graver errands. I can help you divine the role you will play in coming events, and the skills needed to finish that journey. We are a special breed, but you know that already. I am only a visitor here like you. Perhaps I was drawn to this place by something greater than myself. Perhaps it was you. This is where the Fae of Issa fulfill their roles in the telling. You mortals call it work, but we see it as following the cycle, letting our nature guide us. Farewell.
No fighting in the city!
What do you want?
Greetings, Dustling.
May the cycle keep you.
Move along. I must not be bothered.
The fort must be protected.
Welcome.
High King Titarian is waiting for you. Please place the codex before him, and he...
I heard about Haxi. Impressive work. It's been a long time since I've been here.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage. We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae even realize that the great cycle is shifted. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all pass from this world together. It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. The power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fears what you might become. This age has seen much change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. There can be no doubt of that. Your energy reaches back to Alabastra. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. Admirable. But strength of will cannot see you through this alone. You may be unbound by fate, but you are not free from death. Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece. The edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original? It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril. The Summer and Winter Courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fae who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismere upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. Our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court are enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fomorous Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around, and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. No, he's a crafty one. If he got away from those assassins in the lab, like you said, I'm sure he found someplace new to hide out. And if anyone's likely to know where he'd go to find safe haven, it'd be the Templar who sponsored his work. His name's Octien. Go southeast to the Hollowlands. Templar Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might find Hughes. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. You know the Summer Court in Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison.
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very well for you. Agarth's looking for escape, Neuralim's looking for a savior, and Tatarian is looking for a champion, and somehow, you're giving everyone what they want. I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown over the years. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option, not even for me. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to contact General Telera. Meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. Nirelem is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. General Telera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan. But a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha army drove her forces back. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. Be on your way.
Presenting the blade in the shadow, His Grace the Dark.
Have you seen 4 Fey nobles? I can't find them. Keep your weapons here.
Presenting the blade in the shadow, His Grace the Dark.
You've got the seat. Now we'll see if the Victor's Brew can stand up to a new challenger. I'll have a batch of Asker's draft ready before the week is out. Take this, friend. And like I promised, the merchants here will give you a discount. You've got a home here in the alley for as long as you like. Come back again.
Show some respect. You've done well, Child of the Dust. Those below will never know what is really happening. But in the end, is this a part of the many seasons or the sudden tempest? Does hiding the rot not spoil the harvest, no? Take this. You're brave. Perhaps we will meet again. Goodbye, my friend.
Hello there.
Hello there. I don't know how to thank you. You've given me a second chance. Yes?
As the architect laboured, he found an inferno. There, in the heart of the Feywood, the fire raged. It consumed all life uncontrollably. He faced the inferno, but could not quell its hunger. In despair, he looked upon the she.
Time to pay the price. For Von Freeman!
They were the harbingers of the fall, these children of dust. And they lit the forest with their fires, and then split it with their blades. We crept back, shapeless in the darkness, silent in the trees. The shadows are few in this age of mortals. The light beckons.
Hello. There's a bed if you're stopping over, a tankard if you're thirsty, and a fire to warm by in the Golden Plains Inn. There's not much in terms of services in town. Besides the inn, you've got Banron and his smithy Askell, and his alchemy shop. Ayton started as a trading post between Dalentarth and Rathir. For a while, we even saw some profit. Until the war. Now, few come, and nobody stays. All right, stranger. I charge up front by the night. Bed's in the back of the inn. It is a wasteland. Nothing but monsters and ruins. Just some burned-out farms and this trading post. Different from Talarain, east of here. But we've our share of problems. Ron Farm, for example. Or the Freeman. Even Ratifer's causing a ruckus. Have you heard of their trouble? Every day they're still sick. The front lines go without the grain they need. Their stores can't last forever. Always open.
Hail, Wanderer. Would you spare a moment? I have a favor to ask you. It was not always the empty place you see now, but it has become little more than a stopping point between Dalentarth and Rathir for travelers. Not much to speak of, just another soul wandering the plains trying to get by. This used to be a peaceful place full of farmlands. It is still a quiet place, but now the freemen are lurking around just looking to murder and thieve. In appearances, perhaps, I'm just an alpha that needs your help. I have a few belongings to sell, and unfortunately, I've done little to endear myself to Ayton's folk. Will you sell them in my stead? The arrangement is simple. I give you an item, and you sell it. I take a cut, you keep the profit. And will repeat until I have nothing to sell. Understand? I thought you had the look of a trader about you. I have several items for you to sell. If you prefer, you could just buy them all now from me and sell them later. You will? I did not think that I would be as lucky as that. These are my personal effects. You should be able to sell them around town for more than what I charged you. Thank you for your coin, stranger. I will use it to buy passage to Melsenshire, to the war front. Now, I must go.
Aiton welcomes all visitors. Those who don't cause trouble.
Stranger to Aiton, I'm the law in this town. Keep the peace and you are welcome to stay. If not, then you had best leave. If you need to trade, visit Banron, our smithy, and Askell deals in alchemy. And there's a general dealer staying at the inn. Town's becoming harder to protect. We get weaker every season, and the freemen know it. I do what I can, but we keep losing ground. Rond Farm burned not long ago, but it's too dangerous to investigate. I am the law of the town. Aiton needed protection, and I didn't see anyone else willing to do the job. I took it upon myself to keep Aiton safe. Someone needed to do it. Used to be peaceful farmland before the war was on. Now it's some scratched up dirt, home to Aiton and those murderous freemen. I'll take a look at what you've got. They're certainly weathered, but there's something about these daggers. I'll part with a few coins for them. Here you are. Keep the peace.
Welcome to the Clanging Hammer. Don't see many new faces in Aiton these days. My forge is open. Before Talarain fell to ruin, it was Aiton's fields and villagers that stocked and supplied the various citadels there. But the war hit us hard. Bandits plagued the roads. Even Rond Farm has burned to soot. They have been lingering around the wolds. Be cautious on the roads out there. Those freemen like to sneak up on wanderers. It's quiet here, farmland mainly, but between Rond Farm and the Freemen, we've got our own worries. This is Rattifers, isn't it? I recognize the work. My father did it. They're pretty tarnished, and I don't really have the time to work them now, but I'll take them off your hands. Here you go. Forge is yours, whenever you need.
Strangers strange come to Aiton. Few come by these roads nowadays. A hard gaze falls on Aiton. Many are the burdens and few are the reliefs. Someone must go to Ayton Circle. Someone must call the Erethel. Though our wheat grows strong, the citizens do not. We sowed a crop that was untimely reaped. We need intervention, lest we end up like Talarain, a monument to nothing, with kobolds and raiders squabbling over our bones. The last remaining farm in the Wolds. There has been much talk of it, how Denrit and Allred Rond have gone mad. Even Finwick refuses to investigate, so wary is he of catching the madness. Hoping to hear a song for coin from Old Nell. I haven't sung for years, stranger, not since the war started. Ratifer. After a decade, he begs me payment for the ring, and so his promise is finally broken. Very well. I should be lucky to die unmarried rather than a widow. A forgotten spot in these plains. The land still bears grain, but few reap the crops they did before the war. Only Ron Farm stands, and Flame has gutted it. The others have fallen into the hands of the freemen, bandits, marauders. I see you have a ring, tarnished green and old as Nell has grown. Bought it off old Ratty, did you? The poor drunk dear. I have the coin you seek, from a dowry never taken, for a bride never wed. A circle of the windstones nearby. When the voices from its stones sing a certain melody, the Erethel will come and end our tribulations. Each stone is a voice in the song. When all have sung in their part, the Erethel will appear. But if not, dark things for these dark times will show instead. The stones. I am unworthy. I do not think they will sing to me. You must go. It must be you. Make the stones sing their song. You will? Ayton Circle is to the south of town. Each stone carries a note of the song. In the right order, they form the song as it was to be sung. But they will not suffer a cacophony. If the songs you play will not call the Erethel, it will call darker things for these dark times. Everyone knows the song. It starts on the highest note and descends down the scale. Wait a moment. Perhaps it was start at the lowest note and descend up. Well, something like that anyway. Flutter away.
Good day. Wendered Soul of the Traveler is at your service. Been a while since I saw someone coming through Ayton. I'm not from here myself. I know it's got an inn and it's close to Talarain, which is good for me. I mostly come here to recuperate and sell my findings between excursions. Most would say it's a monster-ridden wasteland. However, if you can deal with those beasts, then there's much treasure to be found there. Little for one to find here in the sticks, and some people like that, I suppose. The only real worry are those damn freemen harrying the roads, giving thieves a bad name. The travelers are good traders and better treasure hunters. If there's gold, a traveler can always sniff it out. Come again. Good day.
Finally, Someone who doesn't look like they'd keel over in a gentle breeze. The name's Kelly Sen, and no, I'm not from around Ayton. Looking to kill a little time? I have a cup and some dice. Care to toss for some coin? Or perhaps I could read your cards. It's a small, quiet town with not much more than a few tradesmen. The most exciting thing for these townsfolk is the sight of an unfamiliar face traveling through. I am a gambling man, stranger. Anytime you want to give the dice a roll, I'll be ready to place a bet. Getting harder to find a quiet spot in the plains, but Ayton never gave me much cause for fuss or worry. You look elsewhere in Erethel, you find unrest and chaos, but the walls, well, it's meeting its destiny quietly. Another time, maybe.
Good day, traveler.
A customer? For a minute I thought the damn Freeman had fancied to rob me. Welcome. I offer some alchemical items if you are interested. If not for the slim flow of traffic between Rathier and Dalentar, it would likely not exist anymore. It's been worse since the war. In a few decades, we'll probably be like Talarain, completely ruined. Ruffians and bandits. They're scattered all over the wolds. It's dangerous wandering outside of town. My wife and assistant. She helps me run the shop, although sometimes she creates more problems than she fixes. It's quiet here, and I can appreciate that. But as the days pass and travelers grow scarcer, it becomes ever more difficult to make a living out here. I am an alchemist, not a dealer in petty baubles and refuse. Wait a moment. That kerchief. It's woven of Canarok gossamer. Perfect for a solvent cloth. I spoke too soon. Here is coin for the object. I shall buy it at once. Very well.
You should speak with Askell if you're here to shop. He won't even let me keep the books anymore after my last mistake. I want to help him, but he won't let me near his ledgers. Askell is the owner of the shop and my husband. If you would like to make a purchase, you should speak with him. Bandits and thieves that have been seen around the walls. They won't think twice of killing you for any valuables. That is the wasteland, southeast of here. Long ago, it was a grand citadel, ruled over by the Astor family. It's since fallen to ruin. You'll find monsters there, amongst ancient treasure. The walls aren't much if you're looking for excitement. At least, not before the war turned those freemen loose on us. Well, if you can undo my mistake, perhaps Askell will let me help him again. I sent out several invoices the other day, but I made a slight arithmetic error that might cost us dearly. None of the customers seem to have noticed yet. Can you recollect those invoices discreetly? Oh, thank you. There's 5 invoices in total. 4 went to the townsfolk. The last was to go to the Warsworn Fortress, Helmgard, with a traveling merchant. When you have them all, bring them back to me. Oh, and don't mention this to Askell. Nice talking to you.
Welcome to Aiden. Welcome to Aiden. Careful when wandering outside of town. There's freemen lurking around every corner. Aiden is a quiet little town, but most of the crime comes from travelers passing through or those damn freemen. Oh, you're not allowed in there, stranger. Don't think you want to be sent either. Just stay out of trouble and you'll never have to see those prison bars. Bandits and thieves. I'd lock them all up if I could. It's a quiet place in Erethel. Not much goes on here and it doesn't see many travelers.
They wake, they work, they worry. It is a joyless undertaking, life. The wolds now bear the mark of time, of smoke and frailty, and there is more. A wearying of magic. Did these mortals bring it with them in their tents and wagons, or is it a symptom of something much more sinister?
Good day, traveler. Thank you so much for your help with these. I'll have them reworked and redistributed. In return for your help, please have these. They're sure to be of use. Nice talking to you.